Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at yourphoneguy.com. Our guest today is Deanna Hansen. Deanna is a certified athletic therapist and the founder of Block Therapy. She has a global community of teachers and has seen tens of thousands of people receive the transformational benefits of this practice. Hi, Deanna, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I heard about you and Block Therapy from my friend Mickey, and I think it's probably been 3 or 4 years that I've heard about Block Therapy, but I didn't understand it. And then my sister Trisha, Mickey had told Trisha about Block Therapy. And so Trisha had gone to a local class and got the block. And I know she had reached out to you because she had had some challenges. And these two, just the results that I've seen from the two women that I know, I'm so excited to be able to have you here and to share more about what you do and the benefits that people can get from Block Therapy.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. Thank you so much.
So tell us a little bit. So let's go back, talk a little bit about what Block Therapy actually is for those people that have never heard of it before.
So I started developing Block Therapy about 10 years ago, and it is the self-care version of the fascia technique I developed. I've been developing for the last 20 years, which I call fluid isometrics. And basically what this self-care technique does is it melts through scar tissue and adhesions all the way to the bone where scar tissue attaches. That is really the big thing about fascia, is understanding the system. It connects us from head to toe. And basically, over time, we collapse under the force of gravity, and we're dominant on one side. So we basically age in a forward rotational direction. And as we start falling out of balance over time with aging, the fascia grips and adheres to bone to keep us upright. But these grips, they create blocks to blood and oxygen flow. So cells that aren't properly fed and or clean, they basically result in pain, aging, and disease. So what makes Block Therapy really unique is it's a self-care practice where we use a handcrafted tool, the Block Buddy, which is made of cedar, which has a very similar density to bone, so that we can actually drive through those layers of adhesions all the way to the root where we are held out of alignment, and create an awesome release in the fascia so that we can start pumping blood and oxygen to the cells and rejuvenating life in the body.
Wow. That is amazing. And so how did you come up with something like this? Because I see that you're an athletic therapist. So were some of the, like, your techniques that you were using not working, and that's how you developed this?
Actually, what was really interesting is I certified as an athletic therapist when I was 25 years old. I'm 50 now. And I was really struggling with my personal body. And basically, I was doing everything that I learned in my training, and I was getting bigger and harder and denser, and I was accumulating more pain, more anxiety in my own body. So it was actually through an anxiety attack where I actually started diving my hand into my abdomen in a moment of absolute fear and terror amidst this anxiety attack. I actually thought I was going to die because my breath was literally frozen. It was taken from me. So for some reason, I dove my hand into my abdomen, encountered pain, but that pain allowed me to come out of my crazy thinking. It brought me to the ground, basically. And I realized, okay, I'm safe. I'm not going to die in this moment. I'm actually breathing. But what was really interesting was I started working in my tissue in my belly. And I'd never touched that area before because that was where I carried my 50 extra pounds of weight that I was trying so hard to lose. And I mean, I was working really hard. I was dieting. I was exercising hard. I was definitely taking in less calories than I was expending, yet I was still getting bigger with this process. So suddenly I'm encountering this pain. And what I'm feeling is scar tissue in my abdomen, even though I hadn't had any injuries or surgeries. And suddenly I had all these aha moments that no wonder coming home from a 5-mile run, dripping wet with sweat, my belly is still cold. So suddenly I realized, like, no wonder things aren't changing in here. I'm not getting blood flow to this area to metabolize this tissue. So through the process of working with my hands in this area, within 2 days, when I stood up after that second day of just intuitively exploring the way I was doing it, I went to the mirror and I started to cry because I felt taller, but my abdomen was smaller than it had looked in years. And I mean, I was doing 400 sit-ups a day at one point to try to make my belly look the way that I wanted it to look. And again, that actually just made me bigger and feel worse in general. So this process was really fast at creating change in my body. And then I started working on my patients in a very similar manner. As an athletic therapist, personally, I always focused on deep tissue work to get the results with my patients. And I had a really good following of clients because I had strong hands and I could get deep into the tissue, but I had never worked in that area before. And then suddenly I was getting amazing results with my patients. So that started attracting other therapists to come and learn my technique. But my real passion was to teach self-care. So block therapy became the tool where I was able to teach people how to do the work on themselves, lying over the block buddy, as opposed to having a therapist doing the work for you.
Wow. So let's talk, I want to talk a little bit. So this anxiety attack that you have, can you talk a little bit more about that pain fear cycle?
Absolutely. So the anxiety attack was, so I was 30 years old at the time when this all began, and I had made some really big changes in my life, some really positive health changes, but my anxiety attacks were ramping up because one of the things that I quit was drinking. And so suddenly, like, I'm looking at the choices I made in my life, and like, for example, 2 failed marriages. I was in a very negative business partnership at the time, and now I'm having to basically deal with my life sober. I wasn't using alcohol to numb the pain or to avoid my life situation. So that really caused these anxiety attacks to ramp up. So this one anxiety attack was so incredibly profound because again, I literally didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to get to the next moment. And it was the fear of that really kept me frozen in my body, to the point where when I dove my hand into my abdomen, pain was a friend because it took me out of the anxiety. And there's a pain fear cycle. So if we don't understand what's happening in the body, we get caught up in this cycle where one drives the other, because what happens with pain, fear, and stress is it causes us to reactively hold the breath. And oxygen is the nutrient that is the first and foremost nutrient for every single cell in the body to thrive. In fact, we'll die in 5 minutes if we don't have oxygen. So our cells are similar. So when we feel pain, fear, or stress and we reactively hold the breath, we just continue to cycle further and further into that descent. So when we can actually understand what we need to do to get through these things in a very positive way, it takes the fear out of the cycle, and pain then simply becomes a sensation that we can use to move through the layers of time in the tissue and really open up the body to amazing healing benefits.
And I think that that's one of the things people don't understand, and you do, I'm sure, because you see it firsthand, is that our bodies are amazing machines, and they, with the right direction or even the right tools, they can heal themselves.
Absolutely, they can, and that's really what this process is all about. And it's lovely because as you're lying on this tool, what's happening is you are diving deeper through the layers of your own cells. You're connecting to cells that are further from your that are further than what you're consciously aware of at any given moment. So you start to listen to the language of your cells and hear what they're actually saying to you. And pain is simply like the baby crying. It's the cell saying, hey, I need some attention. I need some love or hydration or nutrition, whatever it is. The cell is connecting through us through sensation, even anxiety. The cells, we expect a lot of our body, and we don't give the body what it really needs to thrive. So if we're feeling anxious, it's partly because your cells are expected to do a job, but we're not giving those cells what they need to do their job. So anxiety is one of the results of that. So when we can really remove ourselves from what sensations we're feeling and look at the body from a different perspective, then we can approach our tissue properly and get some really amazing healing gains. So basically, as you're lying over the tool, the block buddy, and you're moving through these layers of fascia, as you're learning to breathe diaphragmatically, you're pumping blood and oxygen into the cells. As a result, you're also cleaning out the debris, the dirt, the garbage from the cell. So you're making a really clean, fluid environment within your body. And that's the environment where we feel peaceful, where we don't have any restrictions. So we have great range of motion, where we have full and proper breath. So that's what this process is all about. It's really about getting our cells to be positioned where they should be and to be able to be properly fed and clean through proper diaphragmatic breathing, which is one of the foundational pieces of block therapy.
And so you talked a little bit about the Block Buddy. So what makes that tool unique? What makes the Block Buddy unique?
Well, there's a few things. First of all, it's a slab of basically cedar wood that is specifically shaped. So cedar and bone are similar in density. And if we want to be able to drive through these layers of adhesions to get to the root at the bone, we need something that is as dense as bone. So cedar is an example of that. Also, the shape is specific because we're working in the soft areas of the body, the armpits, the belly, the sideways. We work basically head to toe, but we need it to be specifically shaped so that we can comfortably dive deep. If we use a tool that has too sharp of an edge, it will simply be too painful to really be able to melt through those layers and to get to the root of the problem at the bone.
And so who can practice block therapy? Is it for everybody?
It really is for everybody. And that's the lovely thing. If we improve blood and oxygen flow to cells, no matter what condition or situation we are dealing with, we are going to start making positive change in the body. And you can do this work in the bed. You can do it on a floor. You can do it in a chair. There's so many variations and ways to adapt this tool to your needs. And your breath is always your guide. So I have people that can't get out of bed when they're starting because perhaps they might have fibromyalgia or some other debilitating issue. I also have people that are elite athletes that are doing it to a different extreme, combining the exercise component with the work. But at the end of the day, it really is for everybody. We have a kids program. We have people in their 80s starting this journey, men or women. It doesn't really matter because you allow your breath to guide you through the work. And each of the classes that we have, you're guided to really respect your limits and to make sure that you're doing it safely.
So I'm sure you've seen a ton of people. Share with us a success story, like one that just like has blown you away, that you didn't know that the results could be that profound.
Oh boy, I have so many incredible success stories like that. I'll just share one. Tomorrow, for example, we do a weekly discussions with the Fascia Masters on our Facebook page. So we're hosting Edna Guzman. So she's one of my block therapists, and she's actually translated our university into Spanish. She reached out to me 3 years ago because she had scoliosis, and I put her through my program, my scoliosis program, and within 2 weeks, she reached back out and she said her menopausal symptoms were gone and that she wanted to join the university because she wanted to share this. Today, she doesn't have scoliosis. She has, well, it's just incredible, the results that she's has. But this happens all the time. We, in fact, in my block therapy community on our Facebook page, which is free for everybody to join, a few weeks back, we finished a 21-day facelift challenge, and the results were mind-blowing. Even after 21 days, when I saw the befores and afters, I was shocked at the changes. I am blown away almost every day by my community and what they're sharing the results to be. So that was a tough question because there's just so many. And I have a book, Fascia Decompression, The Missing Link in Self-Care. Each chapter has a testimonial from somebody that's been blocking for anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. And you can read what this lifestyle does to create change in a body. Varicose veins are gone. Chronic pains of decades are gone. Hair is coming back in the right color. Energy's coming back. Like it just goes on and on. So there's just so many. And I would really invite anybody that would like to join that free community to come and see the testimonials in there, because that's really where it's all about. People are posting daily the changes that they're experiencing.
So, great. Thank you for inviting our guests, because I think that this could be beneficial. So if people wanted to get started with you, how do they get started?
blocktherapy.com is my website. And on that homepage of the website, there's a starter package. And that's really where everybody starts. It's a 9-class program. And it's just laid out very nice and simply. And then once you follow that program, you also have a 14-day free trial into my member site where we dive deeper into the body. And we have so many different programs that we offer. And again, that community support is always there. So it's a really lovely place to start. And it's guided very safely and simply.
So you started this, and then you have, like, your program is it all over the world?
It is now. We do direct to clients. So we can simply ship a block anywhere in the world, and all of the information is delivered online. We also have over 135 teachers now, either certified or enrolled in our university program, teaching their communities. So we are definitely global. We span the globe, and it's really exciting to see the changes. And just being able to turn this into an online program was the key, because for years I was teaching therapists how to do the technique in my clinic. And again, my real purpose was self-care. So being able to ship these blocks globally and give that information through the delivery that we can online, it's really allowed us to reach everybody anywhere.
So with Hello Gorgeous, we work with women with cancer. So would this be safe for somebody that's going through cancer treatment?
Absolutely. Again, when we improve blood and oxygen flow to cells, that is only going to benefit the health no matter what an individual is going through. And again, reaching out in the community is a beautiful way, because we have people that have gone through this that are there to also share their experience and provide support.
Awesome. So we are obviously in the middle of COVID-19. And so how has this interrupted your business at all with the whole, like, we're in the United States, because you're in Canada, correct?
Yes.
And so we're under a stay-at-home order right now. So what has this done for you and where you're at with your business right now?
Actually, it's really helped. And one of the things that we're doing is we are offering our free virtual intensive for anybody that actually gets the starter program. It's a 2-hour class for breast and lung health. So we have given this free to anybody with a block so that we can really improve that proper breathing, because that's the key for this virus right now, is to really get your breath under control and to strengthen the oxygen absorption into the body, as well as to move that waste out of the body. So that class is fantastic for this. We also are offering my book, Fascia Decompression, the missing link in self-care, as well as a free video for people that don't have or can't purchase a block. You do need a partner for that, but really it's all about opening up that rib cage and improving the breath. So our business has actually really increased since this has happened, because people can't go for therapies, and this is a therapy that you can do at home. And again, all you need is the block that we can ship anywhere, and you get all of the information online. So it's completely safe in that regard.
That's incredible. What has been some of, so you were an athletic therapist and you had a business, but it certainly wasn't to this scale. So what's been one of the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome while scaling your business and taking it worldwide?
There's been a lot. When I had my clinic, I was a complete, I didn't have a computer even. I mean, I still have the first computer that I've ever purchased, which is quite hilarious. It's about 8 years old now. But I was never going to get online, and I was never going to do anything with the computer, because I worked one-on-one with patients in a room. But then I realized I have an opportunity to help more people than just one-on-one clients if I can figure out how to get this online. So that was in itself quite a process, to take what I was doing with patients and to put it into a format to be able to deliver the message online. But we're doing it, and it's been about a 5-year journey where it's been quite an interesting process and painful, but it's brought so many gifts along the way as well. So I feel so blessed and grateful that we are able to deliver this information. But there have been challenges. I'm not going to lie. But again, it's all been worth it. And, it's quite amazing, because the right people are coming now in droves to us to help us along the way as well. So I really feel like I'm in the flow now, and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my life.
And what is your big dream? So like when you close your eyes and the end of your life comes, like what is it that you can say, like just take a deep breath and say, I made the impact that I wanted to make. What is your big dream?
I want to see a world filled with fascia conscious souls, because when we are aware of this tissue and aware of our breath and how to look after ourselves, we feel peaceful inside. We make different choices in general. And the world just becomes a better place when we can really approach each other with compassion and with space. So that's pretty much the first thing that happens when you start blocking is you start creating space inside your body. And when we have space, we have a greater ability to adapt, to stress. We just feel better in general. So then we treat each other with greater compassion and kindness. And I think that for me is the biggest goal and vision that I have, is that everybody just becomes calmer inside themselves and feel better, because then again, that translates to how we treat each other and the planet as well.
Fascia sounds like it's something, I mean, I'd heard the word before, but didn't put a lot of importance on it. But it really sounds like it's the key to so many different things.
It really is. It's the container. So it's kind of like the skin of each cell. Or if you look at a honeycomb, it's the honeycomb, and it's what holds the cells in place. We can be conscious of our fascia, and we can have a very different body than if we're not aware of our fascia system. Similarly with the breath, because the diaphragm, it's this very unique muscle that is under our unconscious and conscious control. So if we're not thinking of our breathing, we're still going to breathe because we're built to survive. But if we're conscious diaphragmatic breathers, we thrive in life. And that's the difference. But it's a muscle, and it needs focus and attention and exercise. And right now, because of the way the fascia will grip and adhere to bone with a force up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, holding us out of alignment, for so many of us, that diaphragm muscle is locked away. So we don't get that benefit of proper and full diaphragmatic breathing. And that's really what, from a foundational level, block therapy does. It opens up, it releases that rib cage so we can start feeding our body properly. And when that happens, everything begins to change. Our physiology changes, the brain pattern changes, so that we're living in the moment. We're in a calm phase as opposed to a stress vibration or frequency in the body. Everything changes when we start breathing diaphragmatically. So it's a game changer for sure.
And I think that's it too. I do think, just with the way of the world, I was talking with somebody earlier and I said, this whole, shelter in place thing, maybe this was just truly a gift from God. Because it's forced us to slow down. It's forced us to take a deep breath. I think we get so busy moving forward. We look at what's next. We don't actually take an opportunity to stand back and to celebrate what was, but we also don't take an opportunity to breathe. I think that's just it. I think people just breathe shallow. So to learn that diaphragmatic breathing, I can see how that would be so beneficial.
Absolutely. And I also agree. I think this has been a huge blessing this time. As much as it's really stressful and trying for so many people, it's also giving us a different perspective, and to slow down. I'm slowing down too, even though my whole world really is online now. I'm slowing down, and I feel a decompression happening overall, which is, again, it gives us that opportunity for self-care. And if we want to be the best versions of ourselves, we really do need to look after ourselves and ourself.
That's right. So give us your website. Where can people find out more about block therapy?
Blocktherapy.com.
Awesome. Well, we're almost out of time. Thank you, Deanna. Oh my gosh, it was such a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much. I so enjoyed this, Kim.
Awesome. If anyone has any questions or comments or would like to know more about the guests on our show, or for more information about Hello Gorgeous, feel free to contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org or visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and download our mobile app. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight, and what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.